Hello everyone, welcome to another day of April LeetCode Challenge, and today's question is longest valid parenthesis. In this question, we are given a string that can only contain two type of characters, opening parenthesis or closing parenthesis. We need to return the longest valid parenthesis substring of the given string. So let's try and understand by an example. We are given the string as opening bracket, closing bracket. The longest valid parenthesis substring would be this one, and its length is 2. So we return the output as 2. Let's look at another example. Here the longest length is this much, valid parenthesis is this much, and its length is 4. So we return 4 as an answer. And since it's an empty string, we simply return 0 from there. So without much ado, let's look at the presentation that I have created for this. Longest valid parenthesis LeetCode day 32. And let me just take a pen here. And I have taken a slightly longer example so that you guys get a good hold of the concept. And this is our input string. And the longest valid parenthesis here is this one. Although there are two more valid parentheses, this and this. So in totality, there are three contenders for it. The first one is this of length 4. The second one is this of length 2. And the third one is this again of length 2. And the maximum out of these three would be 4. Hence the answer is 4 in this case. So let's identify those indexes where the string is becoming disbalanced. The first one is this, which is the fourth index, this one. Since so far the string was balanced. The next one is 5, 6, 7, this one, and I'm highlighting it here. And this string is balanced, and the next one is the last index, the 10th one. So at these coordinates, the string has become disbalanced, and I'll use this information to find the longest valid substring length. I'll tell you in the later part. So the first part of the problem reduces to identifying those indexes where the string is becoming unbalanced. So let's try that up, and we'll be using a stack where we'll store those indexes. And let's start the iteration. So we get a 0, an opening bracket at 0th index. Since it's an opening bracket, we'll push this information onto the stack. So 0 gets on top of the stack. And the next is a closing bracket. Since it's a closing bracket, we will check what is the element in the string at the peak element of the stack. It's a opening bracket. Since it's becoming balanced, so we will remove this information from the stack because this part of the string is balanced. So we don't need this information. We'll remove it from the stack. So let's move on to the next iteration. We get an opening bracket. So we'll push this information onto the stack. We get 2 on the stack, and for the next iteration it's a closing bracket. So we will check what character is there at the peak element of the stack. It's an opening bracket, and again it's becoming balanced, so we will remove it from the stack. So this also gets removed. Next we have a closing bracket, and we'll simply push that information since the stack is empty. And let's move ahead. We get a opening bracket again. So we will push this information onto the top of the stack. And next we have a closing bracket. Since it's a closing bracket and the peak of the element of the stack is 5, whose character in the string is an opening bracket, so we will remove this information from the stack since the string is becoming balanced. So you need to check what characters lies in the string at the peak element of the stack. If it's an opening bracket, then we will reject or pop the element out of the stack. Let's move on to the next iteration. We get 7, and 7 is a closing bracket. And let's check for the peak element of the stack. The peak element of the stack is 4, which is again a closing bracket. So there is no match, and we'll push this information onto the stack. So the stack gets 7. Let's move on to the next iteration. We get 8. So it's a opening bracket. So we'll push this information onto the stack. And next we have 9, which is a closing bracket. We will check the peak element of the stack. It's 8. What is the character there? It's an opening bracket. Since the current one is a closing one and the peak element is an opening bracket, so this gets balanced. So we will remove this information from the stack. Let's move ahead, and the last element is a closing bracket, and we will check the peak element of the stack. The peak element of the stack is 7, which is again a closing bracket, so we can't do anything. It's not a balancing case, so we'll push this information onto the stack. So in the end, our stack looks like this. So we have 4, we have 7, and we have 10. So we identified those indexes where the string is becoming unbalanced, and let's use this information to build our answer. So let me just highlight the disbalancing indexes in the input string, and the first one is this, the second one is this, and the third one is this. And let's count the difference between these two indexes. So one possible length is this, other possible length is this, and the third possible length is this. Also, there is another possible length, which is there could be a case where everything after these indexes are already balanced, so we won't have this information in our stack. So we need to make sure that case is also taken into consideration by subtracting it from the length of the stack, subtracting the topmost element of the stack from the length of the stack. For example, there could be a case we have something like this up till the end. So we have 6 more characters and all of them are balanced in nature. Our disbalanced indexes stack will still be similar to this. So the possible contenders would be 4 in this case. The first one is this, the second one is this, and the third one is this, and the fourth one would be the last one for this. And how can we calculate this information? Let's try this out. So I'll create one variable that will tell us the terminal ending index of the substring into consideration, and I'll initialize that element to the length of the string. So in this case the length is 11 and I'll initialize it to 11. So let's pull out element from the stack. The first element is 10 and the possible length would be 11 minus 10 minus 1. So don't forget to use minus 1 here because the difference is actually 2. So if you subtract 10 minus 7, that gives you 3. So you need to take one lower value into consideration. That's why I've added minus 1 here. And this is equal to 0. So our max variable have no impact. It will still hold 0 value. And we'll remove this element from the stack and we'll update the terminal index to 10. And let's go for the next iteration. We get 7 and pull out element from the stack. So 10 minus 7 minus 1 is 2. So we'll update the max length to 2 and we'll remove this element from the stack and update this value, the terminal index value to 7. Sorry, this will be updated to 7. And next go for the next iteration. Let's go for the next iteration. We get 4. So 7 minus 4 minus 1, that is again 2. So the max variable have no impact on it. And let's remove this element and update the terminal index to 4. So in the end, we need to handle one case, which is we need to return the maximum of the max length that we have calculated so far and the terminal index, because we need to consider the case for the length that is starting from the 0th index and we don't need to subtract minus 1 from it. Therefore, the answer would be equal to max of 2, 4, which is 4. If this part is not clear to you, I'll explain it in the coding section. So the time complexity of this approach becomes order of n and the space complexity is again order of n. So moving on to the coding part. The first thing that I'm going to do is to have a null check. So if s happens to be null or s dot length happens to be less than 2, that means there is no valid parenthesis string, so we'll return 0 from it. And let's define a stack of type integer st new stack, and let's start the iteration for integer I equals to 0, I is less than s dot length, I plus plus. If my current character s dot char at I happens to be equal to an opening bracket, we'll simply push the current index onto the stack. So st dot push I. Otherwise, let's handle the case where it's a closing bracket. So we know we have a closing bracket. What we need to do, we need to check whether the peak element of the stack, the character of the peak element of the stack holds an opening bracket. If that is the case, then we'll not do anything. Otherwise, we'll push the current index onto the stack. If stack is not empty, and we will check s dot char at the peak element of the stack, st dot peak happens to be an opening bracket. If that is the case, we found a matching case because it's a balancing case. The current character is a closing bracket, current character is closing bracket, and the topmost element holds the character which is an opening bracket. So that's a balancing case. We'll simply remove the topmost element from the stack. Otherwise, it's a non-balancing case. We'll add element to the top of the stack. So far we are good. So let's build our answer now. I'll define two variables, one for storing the length, max length equals to 0, and other for storing the terminal index of the current substring into consideration. So end terminal, and let's initialize it to s dot length. And let's start pulling out elements from the stack. While stack is not empty, let's retrieve the starting element, the topmost element, and let's call it start terminal of the current substring into consideration, and that would be equal to st.pop. So we have both this information, the end terminal and the start terminal, and max length would be equal to math.max max length comma end terminal minus start terminal minus 1, and we'll update the end terminal to the start terminal because we'll use this information for the next iteration. And in the end, we just need to handle one case, that we need to return math.max of end terminal comma max length. That's it. Let's revise it and then we'll give it a shot. So the string, the condition is length or less than 2. Sorry, again, I can see a typo there. And then built a stack, then started iterating over the strings. And we are checking whether the current character is an opening bracket. If this is an opening bracket, then we'll push this information into the stack. Otherwise, we have a closing bracket case. And we will check whether the current element at the peak element of the stack is an opening bracket. The current happens to be a closing bracket, so that balances us up. We'll remove that element from the stack. Otherwise, we'll push that element into the stack because that's an unbalancing case. And next, we start building our answer, max length and end terminal. We initialize it to the length of the stack, and here it looks good. We popped out the start terminal, and then we calculate the max length, minus 1 is in place, and in the end, we return the maximum of these two. And let's submit this. Accepted. The time complexity of this approach is order of n, and again the space complexity is order of n. There could be a case where the complete string is disbalanced, so you'll push everything onto the stack, and for that case the space complexity becomes order of n. and the time complexity is order of n because you are traversing through the input string only once. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it.